Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. By the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Salah ad-Din Independent Preparatory School for Boys, the English Language Department, would like to present the third report revision for the year 2015-2016. Part 1. Reading. In this part of the revision, you will read some notices and paragraphs. Each of the notices and paragraphs is followed by one or two questions. Choose a correct answer for the question, then mark the box of the correct answer. Read the text below and answer the questions that follow. All around the world, people enjoy looking up at the night sky. Studying the stars and planets is a very popular hobby. It has become more difficult to see the stars at night in recent years. Some say that humans cause light pollution with our brightly lit buildings, airports, and roadways. An orange glow appears over most cities. The orange glow hides the light from the stars. Nowadays, someone of the night sky must travel to an unpopulated place like a desert. Question 1. Which is the best way to begin sentence 3? Again, which is the best way to begin sentence 3? At once, in other words, unfortunately, immediately. Again, is it A, at once, B, in other words, C, unfortunately, D, immediately? And the correct answer is unfortunately. Question 2. Which are the best words to put in the blank in sentence 7? Is it A, whose good view? B, which has a good views? C, who wants a good view? D, where the good views are? And the correct answer is C. Good boys. It's C. Who wants a good view? Read the text below and answer the questions that follow. This happened with my two best friends yesterday. First, my friend Sarah called me and invited me to her house. I told her I could come. Then my friend Dina called and invited me to her house. Dina just returned from a trip. I really wanted to hear about her trip. Without thinking, I said yes. I hung up the phone. Then suddenly I knew that I had a problem. I had two plans for the same time with two different people. I felt bad. I wanted to see Sarah. I also wanted to hear about Dina's trip. I thought about this problem for a long time, not knowing what I should do. I called both of them and invited them to come to my house. I explained to them what happened. They thought it was funny. Take your time to read it again. Then after that we are going to move to the questions and pay attention to the space 16, and pay attention to the numbers. We have number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You are going to be asked some questions about those sentences. What should be put between, for example, sentence 2 and 3? What should we put in this space? I called both of them and invited them to come to my house. Space 16. Again, what do you think will go in this space, space 16? Okay, you want to add another sentence before sentence 1. Which is the best sentence to add? Is it A, I lost my 2 best friends? B, I didn't want to see my friends? C, this is the story about my friend Sarah? D, sometimes I make plans and then I forget them. Which one do you think? Sentence 1. Before sentence 1. I lost my 2 best friends. I didn't want to see my friends. This is the story about my friend Sarah. Sometimes I make plans and then I forget them. Now, since we are talking about the first sentence of the story, we are talking about the topic sentence, which has the main idea of the story. That's why the correct answer will be sometimes I make plans and then I forget about them. This is the topic sentence of the story that we have just read. Good boys. 4. Which is the best word to begin sentence 16? Which is the best word to begin sentence 16? Is it A or B, also, C, finally, or D, always? Good boys, it's C, finally. Because the space is at the end of the story, and we concluded the story by finding the solution, that she has invited both of her friends to come to her house. The correct answer is finally. Thank you. Read the text below and answer the questions that follow. When people go on holiday, they often want to rest and relax. These days, however, there are a growing number of travelers who would prefer excitement and adventure. They would prefer climb an icy mountain top. They do not want to sit on a sunny beach. Planning such holidays takes a lot of time and special knowledge. New websites and travel businesses are being created. Now people can hire guides and get detailed weather information from halfway around the world. Take another minute to study the text, and after that we are going to move to the next couple of questions about the text. And bear in mind the numbers that you can see in the text. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And pay special attention to 6 and the space that follows 6. New websites and travel businesses. Now, when you are prompted for filling a space, you need to pay attention to the sentence preceding the space and the sentence following the space, because you are then going to be asked to fill in the space with the appropriate response. Five. Which is the best way to join sentence 3 and sentence 4? They would rather climb an icy mountain top than sit on a sunny beach. B. They prefer to climb an icy mountain top and sit on a sunny beach. C. They may like climbing an icy mountain top unless there is a sunny beach. D. They like climbing an icy mountain top or sitting on a sunny beach. Again, the question: which is the best way to join sentence 3 and sentence 4 together? Is it A. They would rather climb an icy mountain top than sit on a sunny beach? B. They prefer to climb an icy mountain top and sit on a sunny beach? C. They may like climbing an icy mountain top unless there is a sunny beach. They like climbing an icy mountain top or sitting on a sunny beach. And the correct answer here is A. They would rather climb an icy mountain top than sit on a sunny beach. 6. Which is the best way to begin sentence 6? Is it A, brave travelers needing help? B, the help for these brave travelers? C, for brave travelers helping? D, to help these brave travelers. And the correct answer is D, to help these brave travelers. Part 2. Word knowledge and structure skills. In this part of the revision, you are going to answer 30 questions on vocabulary and structure. Each sentence followed by 4 choices: A, B, C, or D. Choose the correct answer, then mark the box of the correct answer. One. Fahad space to spend his holiday in Spain 5 years ago. 1. Fahad space to spend his holiday in Spain 5 years ago. Is it A, used, B, uses, C, used, or D, using? Think about it. What do you think? Is it A, use, B, uses, C, used, or D, using? And I need you to know something in the question, that we are talking about Fahad 5 years ago. We are not talking about Fahad now. So in this case, the correct answer will be, good boys, it's used to. Fahad used to spend his holiday in Spain 5 years ago. But now Fahad doesn't spend his holiday in Spain. He might spend his holiday in other places. Question 2. Hamad space into a tree with his bike and injured his head. Again, Hamad space into a tree with his bike and injured his head. A, walked. Hamad walked into a tree. Hamad ran into a tree. Hamad washed into a tree. Or the last one, D, Hamad climbed into a tree with his bike and injured his head. And the correct answer is ran into a tree, which means he crashed into a tree with his bike, and as a result of this crash, he ended up with an injured head. Three. Last night there was a terrible storm and the light went off. I was. Again, last night there was a terrible storm and the light went off. I was A, excited, B, petrified, C, shocked, D, surprised. And the correct answer is petrified. Petrified means that he was terrified or scared because of the lights being off after the storm. 4. U space to speak louder. U space to speak louder so everyone can hear you. U space to speak louder so everyone can hear you. Is it A, should, B, must, C, ought, D, might? I need to note something in the question, that we have the preposition to, and with the preposition to we can't use the modal verb should or must or might. The only modal verb that we can use with such preposition is ought. That's why the correct answer is you ought to speak louder so everyone can hear you. Or in other words, we can replace with the word should, but we should omit the preposition to. In this case, you should speak louder so everyone can hear you. 5. Space, you like a cup of tea. You like a cup of tea, and we have here a question. The choices are will, were, would. And the correct answer, what do you think? Is it A, B, C, or D? The correct answer is, good boys, it's would. Would you like a cup of tea? Six. When it rained, they spaced tennis in the garden. Again, when it rained, they spaced tennis in the garden. Down to the choices. A, play. B, played. C, was playing. D, were playing. I need you to pay special attention to the conjunction, the question, which is when. Now we have when and while. You have studied that many times during classes. After when, we usually use the past simple, and the second sentence, the sentence that follows this one, should be used in the past continuous. In this case, when trained, they were playing tennis in the garden. We are talking about a short event and a long event. Short action, long action. In other words, they were playing tennis in the garden when trained. Seven. Mr. Jassim is sick. He resents space. Go to work today. Mr. Jassim is sick. He resents space. Go to work today. Is it A, have to? B, should? C, need? D, must? Think about it. Correct, it's A. Mr. Jassim is sick. He doesn't have to go to work today. Means he's not obliged to go to work today because he's sick. Use space, worry about where we will watch the match. Hamad will host us. Use space, worry about where we will watch the match. Hamad will host us. A, would rather not. B, needn't have. C, needn't. D, don't. Again, use space, worry about where we will watch the match. Hamad will host us. Is it A, would rather not? B, needn't have. C, needn't. D, don't. Good boys, it's C. You needn't worry about where we will watch the match. Hamad will host us. 9. They usually sleep, space, to get up at 5 a.m. Is it A, early, B, lazily, C, lately, D, slowly? And the correct answer is early. They usually sleep early to get up at 5 a.m. Question 10. I speak Arabic fluently when I was young. I speak Arabic fluently when I was young. A, can. B, well. C, could. D, would. I need you guys now to know something, that this guy is talking about the time when he was young. He's talking about the past. That's why the correct answer is good boys. It's could. I could speak Arabic fluently when I was young. '11. We hope to become more in predicting earthquakes. We hope to become more in predicting earthquakes. A, accurate. B, clear. C, correct. D, exact. And the correct answer is accurate. We hope to become more accurate in predicting earthquakes. 12. The space of the accident was 2:43 p.m. The space time of the accident was 2:43 p.m. The choices: A. Clear, B. Correct, C. Accurate, D. Exact. And the correct answer is exact. The exact time of the accident was 2:43 p.m. (13) Sammy looked for his watch, space, but he couldn't find it. Sammy looked for his watch, but he couldn't find it. A. Anywhere, B. Everywhere, C. Nowhere, D. Somewhere. What do you think? Sammy looked for his watch anywhere, everywhere, nowhere, somewhere. Sammy looked for his watch everywhere, but he couldn't find it. (14) While Fahd was studying, his mother space to the supermarket to buy some eggs. While Fahd was studying, his mother spaced to the supermarket to buy some eggs. Now, in this question, I need to notice again the conjunction while, and after while, as you can notice, we have used the past continuous. The second part, or the second sentence that follows the past continuous is going to be, what do you think? Good boys. While Fahd was studying, his mother went to the supermarket to buy some eggs. While Fahd was studying, his mother went to the supermarket to buy some eggs. Now we are talking about two actions that happen in the past. One of them is long and the other one is short. One of them happened within the other. His mother went to the supermarket to buy some eggs while he was studying. (15) My father never had an accident. He drives A. Useful, B. Careful, C. Usefully, D. Carefully. What do you think the answer is? Is it A, B, C, or D? Good boys, it's D. Carefully. My father never had an accident. He drives carefully. (16) Hisham likes to watch space movies. Hisham likes to watch space movies. A. Terrified, B. Afraid, C. Thrilled, D. Thrilling. Now we are talking about movies, guys. He likes to watch terrified, afraid, thrilled, or thrilling movies. Good boys. Hisham likes to watch thrilling movies. Since we are talking about an object, most of the time, mostly, we use the ing type of adjective with objects, and the ed is usually used with people. Usually. 17. I hate doing the washing up. I find it very tidy, truly, tedious, amazing. Again, I hate doing the washing up. I find it very tidy, truly, tedious, or amazing. It's C, thank you. I hate doing the washing up. I find it very tedious. Tedious means boring or annoying. Rashid was lost in the desert. He was starving too. 18. When Rashid was lost in the desert, he was starving to die, B. Dead, C. Death, D. Dying. Rashid was lost in the desert. He was starving to And the correct answer is no, it's not A, no B, it's C. When Rashid was lost in the desert, he was starving to death. 19. After his father's death, Hamad was space as he felt he had lost everything. After his father's death, Hamad was as he felt he had lost everything. Is it A, miserable, B, organized, C, thrilled, D, active? What do you think? Is it A, B, C, or D? Correct, it's A, miserable, which means sad. After his father's death, Hamad was miserable, which means sad, as he felt he had lost everything. 20. Our manager is, he never comes late. Our manager is, he never comes late. A, punctuality, B, punctual, C, punctuation, D, punctuate. Correct word is punctual. A manager is punctual, he never comes late. Being punctual is being on time all the time. "21. I poured Nasser's camera and broke it. I wish I poured it. A, would, B, hadn't, C, could, D, if only. And the correct answer is hadn't. Poured Nasser's camera and broke it. I wish I poured it. 22. My new mobile keeps shutting down. If only I could, it, and take back my money. My new mobile keeps shutting down. If only I could, it, and take back my money. A, restored, B, restoring, C, restores, D, restore. And the correct answer is restore. Restore means to get back to the shop and get your money back. To get something back to the shop in order to get your money. حصة bobbed, the supermarket to get a can of juice. حصة bobbed, the supermarket to get a can of juice. A, out, B, into, C, off, D, above. And the correct answer is حصة bobbed into the supermarket to get a can of juice. Bobbed into a place means that you go there for a short period of time. You don't stay for a long time. I'd prefer, discuss this issue, it's personal. I'd prefer, discuss this issue, it's personal. A, not to, B, to not, C, not, D, no to. Good boys, the correct answer is A. I'd prefer not to discuss this issue, it's personal. 26. I arrived late to the airport, I missed the plane. I arrived late to the airport, I missed the plane. The choices. A, definitely, B, seriously, C, consequently, D, after then. And the correct answer is consequently, which means as a result of that. Because I arrived late to the airport, I missed the plane. 27. Nawaf, enjoys reading books that get him thinking. Nawaf, enjoys reading books that get him thinking. A, particle, B, practical, C, particular, D, particularly. It's D. Good boys, particularly. And what particularly enjoys reading books that get him thinking. 28. Naif went to the library. He just needs books for his project. He doesn't need a lot. Again, Naif went to the library. He just needs space books for his project. He doesn't need a lot. What do you think the answer is? Is it A, few, B, many, C, much, D, little? Naif went to the library. He just needs books. What do you think the word books? Is it countable or uncountable? Good boys, it's countable. Now, since it's countable, we have two choices, few and many. Since he doesn't need a lot of books, he doesn't need many books, he needs only a few books. He needs only a few books. Then the correct answer is A. Much and little are used for uncountable nouns. 29. Nasser was a man. He was happy to build a new factory and start his project. 29. Nasser was a space man. He was happy to build a new factory and start his project. A. Hope. B. Hopeless. C. Hopeful. D. Hopefully. Now, I need to note the category of each of the words that we have here. The first one, hope, is a noun. Hopeless is a verb. Hopeful, also a verb. The last one, D, hopefully, is an adverb. We have in the question stem, we have the word man preceded by the space. Now, when we have the space before a noun, usually we have to fill it with an adjective. Nasser was a, we have two choices, we have two adjectives, hopeless or hopeful. Hopeless man or hopeful man. He was happy to build a new factory and start his project. Since he has built a factory and he has started his project, this means that he is hopeful man. Again, hopefully is an adverb. And adverbs describe verbs. And adjectives describe nouns. 30. Majid studied hard as he is used to be a/an student. 30. Majid studied hard as he is used to be a/an student. A. Succeed. B. Success. C. Successful. D. Successfully. Before we decide on the correct answer, I need you to pay attention to the word student, which is a noun preceded by a space. In this case, we need to find out the category of each one of the words that we have here in the question. The first one, succeed, is a verb. The second one, B, success, is a noun. C is an adjective, and D is an adverb. Since we are describing a student, which is a noun, we need to use an adjective. The adjective in this case will be successful. Thank you guys and good luck with your exam.